about a fish I love. And his name is Alex. What is going on, everybody? How are we doing? How are we feeling? How are we doofling? How are we doofling? Are we doofling well? I have not had enough caffeine today. I did have a latte, which is pretty bougie and fancy for me. But I had a latte this morning, and now I am going to have my daily candy, my dessert before my dinner, my cherry Dr. Pepper. Oh, yes. The nose on that, very similar to like a Cab 78 out of the Rhone Valley. Anyways, let me mute the phone because that's obnoxious that popped through. I swear, the second I do anything on my phone, nobody talks to me all day, and then bling, 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 everyone jumps in, and it's gonna distract. Carl, hello. Hove Aquatics, hello. Mike, hello. Dr. Pepper induced breakout incoming. Maybe. Mick says Chardonnay 1955. Right, yes. Yes. Chris in the desert, hello. Ollie the pufferfish, hello. Coro works, hello. Yes. And Claire H, hello. The 186 element, good to see y'all. Michael Myers, good to see you. Coro, always in the below with the links. I appreciate that. So, guys, I want to give you a little overview of what my mind is thinking about doing now with the fish room. I know I've kind of already gone over it a little bit, but I have more ideas and more specific ideas. And so I want to try to do a run through in like maybe 10 minutes or 5 minutes of what I'm thinking of doing. I'll show you guys what's what. Also, give you a couple updates on the catastrophe that is the tank that crashed. Also, by the way, Bob the Betta is back in there. I just saw him a second ago. He's hiding. Ever since all this tragedy, he hides. All the fish hide. There's Bob the Betta. He's right back in there. He's the blue. He's the blue blur. The blue blur. He's the blue blur. Come on, Bob. Come out and play with us. Come play with us, Bobby. But in any case, you can see, yeah, the zebra or marbled autos, they came out, they came through it okay. This is really disturbing. This is my Logonandra eboldii, and I think the entire thing cooked. Like, look at the stems where I trimmed burnt, like leaves that looked cooked. I trimmed, and now you can see this. It's like mush, but I think it's rotting because it's dead. I think like the tuber, everything rotted. I think it's done for. And that's depressing. I mean, with all the time that this has lived, and we still got two leaves on it. But I'm leaving, just this for oxygenation because the temperature's up real high. We also have my little Equus. They're doing okay. My Cryptnuri is doing okay, and my Koopa snail is doing okay. Which he was the one who crawled all the way out of the tank up into the glass earlier, but he seems to be doing okay. Yeah, and double tap the screen if you guys like what's going on, if you want to attract more to the scene of the crime, attract more folks here. Here you can see again, we've got more of these beautiful marbled autos, and they're sitting on the heater. I think that's what they... Okay, and this, I think, maybe second to the last fish that that is going to be dead. The ick treatment never once, never once did the ick treatment I tried do any good. In fact, look at this guy. He's probably the last fish that's not going to make it. Unfortunately, he's already kind of going on the side. He's got white patches on him. I've tried ick. I've tried General Cure or Ick X. I tried General Cure, and then I tried all the natural things before all that. Um, and basically, none of the fish that are hardier and settled, none of them have the ick or anything like it or epistillus. You know, like the pencil fish and stuff, the equus, they're all doing fine. Like all 9 of them survived this whole thing. But again, look at this. So here is my Anubias hybrid that I've been working with for a number of years now. And look at how red those roots are. I'm really worried that that means that it got cooked as well. Hey, there's another equus. But anyways, the bulbitis didn't get cooked, which is nice. If it does, it turns brown. The root like this. Like this is a dead root right here that I need to trim. But the Anubias, it really just puts up these like spears and then they fold open into flowers or into petals rather. And then it's got the green and white growth going on there in the tuber. But yeah, so what do I do with this aquarium? That's going to be the big question. And I still don't 100% know, but I really do want to redo it. And because it's already set up with a Fluval 207, the inline heater can be set up easily. Then also it's got a 20-pound CO2 tank set up in here and this cabinet. I have a plan. Now this looks like a mess over here, and it is. I've been pulling all this crap out for the last 2 or 3 days out of here. And so everything, like all this mold that we for years and years just let be and let it settle and let it create its own layers. Now I am taking it out. I'm getting rid of the light fluffy layers, and I mean really that's it. Trimming them, taking out the algae, taking out the moss, trying to trim back the moss. Also, I've been taking away floating plants as time has gone on. And the Claudophora, this is why I might just restart this as opposed to re-aquascape this tank. But keep this tank in mind with my grand plan that I'm going to tell you about in just a second here. You know, here we've got a rock with like lots of nice moss and stuff on it that's really well grafted on there all over. This could grow into a nice bushy like chia pet of moss in probably 3 or 4 weeks with 2 trims. So it's on my mind as well. Maybe we can save it. I don't know. Who knows? Also, you know, all the little baby Endler guppy, whatever, and the Amano that are in here, they're easy enough to take care of. So I'll probably pull them out. But think of this tank. It's a 20-gallon-ish. It's a 60P is what they call it. So it is 2 feet across, a foot deep, and 18 inches tall. And this one's already got, I don't know, 6.5 to 8 inches of substrate in the front. And in the back, it's even worse. It's almost, I mean, it's almost halfway. It's pretty ridiculous. And here we've got the sides all down because everything is evaporating so quickly with this tank cranked up to 80, and with the water flowing and the bubbles and all that. But the tank is pretty darn hot still. It's 90 right on the heater, and then, you know, the rest of the water somewhere around 80, 85-ish. Let's see here. And 87-ish, 85 to 87. So that's right where I want it to be in killing ick. And we've got a little power head. But what do I do? Do I cut down all the stem plants? That's kind of what I'm thinking, and I might just need to reset it. I don't know what I don't know what to do. I think I'm just gonna reset it at some point, but that's a big task to do. I also need to clean out the filter, so I'll be cleaning that out. That's a no-brainer. That's not a big deal. And then, and then we got to move this. So my next plan here, guys, is to move this tank. So I'm going to take this tank, clear all this stuff, clear all the little potted plants, the food, the fertilizer, any junk that's here. We're going to clean up those cords. We're going to run all the cords for this thing the way they used to be, running down the back and into this cabinet where there's power. And then everything on this side will be right there and then through here. And these are all just like extra contraptions, fog machines, extra lights and stuff that I haven't played with in a while. But originally I thought, oh, maybe I'll make a video using that. And it's just gotten out of control. So we're going to clear all this so that we'll have this much room from right here on the wall where the laser is, all the way back here and right here. So we'll have about, if we wanted it, 20 inches wide by 3.5 feet long by up to 2 feet tall if we wanted it. But we don't have anything like that to take over, right? So let's go in here and take a look at what I'm going to do. So my plan, I think, and guys, I know everything's a big mess right now. I think the plan is I'm going to take this tank, which is the identical tank to that one in the other room, right? I think I'm going to take this tank and the one from the other room, and I'm going to set them up side by side, here and here. And we're going to do brand new aquascapes in both. Now, this does pain me quite heavily because these are old substrates, a decade plus. And that makes me sad. But honestly, I think it's time, and I think we'll have a better experience for the channel. What that will do is then leave this shelf open. And then with this shelf open, also I want to redo this low boy eventually. Also, we've got all the air cords and light cords and power cords, all that stuff, plus a bunch of extras just laying all over. And I want to clean all that up, obviously. And where I did think about having this 65 here, check out my new idea. So I want to take 2 of these tanks, and they will fit exactly side by side here and here. And that way they will be pretty aquascapes at roughly chest level for me. Then this tank here that is set up as now, this used to be the Lake Inlay biotope. Right now it's just kind of a mismatch of the swordtails and the rainbow Kalitawas, and then the you've got the Rasbora hets, some pink panther and pink flamingo crypts, stuff like that, and lots of moss. And I've been taking out the duckweed and this moss and all the extra layers of just moss that we don't need. Like this floating moss doesn't need to be here. Like, it's just too much. The thing is, I'm sad. Like, somebody would kill to have even this portion, and I probably have 100 portions like this of moss in this green room that I could put to good use if I knew where they were going and it was organized, yada yada. So my idea is to take this current spot and literally move this tank here, this 65, into that spot. Then I can put my new filter underneath where all this CO2 equipment is. And, Kitty, what are you doing? And that will basically free up this shelf. This guy, I have to decide what to do with. Do I keep it running? Do I tear it down? I don't know. But it'll probably come down a shelf. And then this area will be completely free so that I can get at, for instance, I can move this tank that has nothing in it, this one that has the wild mollies, this one that has a whole weird selection of checkerboard cichlids and the new barbs and the Negro fasciatus. Uh, then my earth eaters and my eel and stuff, they're done for. There's one earth eater left, there's one angel left, and there's one, eel, peacock eel. So I want to take the peacock eel, get it out of there, and get it into some safety. And Kitty, boy, that almost was bad. Come on, scoot out. Scoot out, come on. Come on, Kitty, scoot out. So that's the idea, is to take that tank and move it, that big 65, put it where the long one is, put the long one out here, put this one side by side with the other rimless in there with another twin star on top, and they will sit with 1 inch between them. So I think that would give me one long aquascape, a touch up on this eventually, the whole long aquascape in here, and then this and another one just like it to redo. So 2 aquascapes at 20 gallons, 1 at 30-gallon long, and this plus the 65 all would be in states of redo. And what I'm thinking for the long one out here, since my wife she always gets annoyed when all my tanks just end up being these jungles. So what I want to do is I want to do more content on carpeting plants and CO2 and how to do that. We haven't covered that in about 6 years on this channel. So I want to do like Monte Carlo, hydrocarbon tripartita, maybe a few low-growing crypts, and then some nice spider wood that, or any type of wood really, but a nice piece of spider wood or manzanita that comes across the entire aquarium and kind of gives us a nice look. That's my thought. I also have all these aquariums ready to go. I don't know if I bought the right sizes and / cleaned up all the ones I've had in the past. I don't know how they're gonna Tetris together. So I did put it on the Discord. If anybody's a ninja, wants to Photoshop any ideas or any thoughts of how a better way to do this would be, feel free. But yeah, the main thing is this whole situation right here. I want to clean all these shelves. Also, we gotta, if you recall, the roof got fixed, but now we gotta replace the sheetrock. So we gotta replace all this sheetrock that got stained earlier, and that's gonna be stressful and money and all that. And it might be dusty for the fish. Come on, no, you stay out for a sec. Okay, so then here, what I was trying to show you guys without busting out a measuring tape is basically that we've got this will probably work. Here, we've got about, I don't know, this much, whatever this is, this much width here. And how wide is this tank? Oh, it is exactly that much, basically. So if we switch these heavy-duty boards that I already stained that are underneath there over to this side, kept the cinder blocks the same, clean this out, put the FX under there, or the 201, I think that's going to be the plan. And then this tank, we could take even like manzanita from like this jar here and run that like this, sideways nice, and then do a nice rolling aquascape. That idea, plus then doing the 2 side-by-side, what do they call them, 60Ps, and then, I don't know, what do we do about the 10-gallon and the 10-gallon? I mean, do we just do another 10-gallon, 10-gallon, and turn them sideways? Or do we do a 20 gallon? I mean, we could also do a 10, a 5, and a 20 long. I don't know. I'm a little bit torn on what to do. Then the other idea is, well, I could just take this. We could put this junk in a cabinet somewhere else, and because I've just been ripping it, I've been like pulling things apart like a madman. And I used to have tanks for breeding grow out on the shelf, so it'd be a 20 long, a 20 long, and then they're hard to get at though. So I'm really scratching my head a little bit about, well, how many breeder tanks do I want versus like this. I can breed these guys right here in a 2.5 gallon tank, which is great. I can breed these in this 10 gallon. So I don't think all this is gonna change much here or here. I think these are pretty efficient. I mean, this is probably gonna go on the back. Also, my live cultures and my green water and my miniature scuds. I just got some freshwater isopods, some little woodlouse or pill bugs, whatever you want to call them, potato bugs. But what I could do is I actually have 2 feet right here, so I could get a different piece of furniture. I could make an actual spot for the dehumidifier, and then I could actually like level this off here with this shelf and do a shelf here and another one here, maybe even run something across so that a tank could sit on both of these, which are equal in height exactly. I don't know. There's some crazy potential there of like almost a bridge or something. But if we can take this and move it over here, which it will fit exactly in this spot, and then put a canister on it rather than a hang off the back or anything, it should tuck in fairly clean with where it is already. And then that opens up this entire wall here, and I could do maybe a green screen. And what I could maybe set up, I'm hoping, is I could quiet the. I only have one. One, two, three filters running in here right now as of this moment. I have more air sponge filters that I will be running, but with this plan, I could take one switch and turn off the 4 filters, and it's dead quiet in here. It's still hot in here, but I'm thinking then I could film episodes against this wall and do a green wall here with some shelving for fish products and posters and knickknacks and things that you guys have sent me. And I've just been really wanting to do that. Not to mention, I really want, and my wife really wants, we realize that nobody wants to spend the night in a dingy fish room, especially with the roof looks like it's molded. I mean, this looks so depressing. So we're done with that idea. And the new idea is, hopefully going to be a cleaner look. So that's the idea. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. It's all of it had been. Oh, I love being in there too. Don't get me wrong. It's just the. It looks drab. It looks scattered, messy right now, and that's all. Now, also, I'm planning an episode for you guys. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow or the next day about spiderwood and driftwood in the aquarium hobby. And essentially, the secret that a lot of people know now, but most people probably still don't, which is none of this spider wood, none of this is from a tree, nor is it driftwood at all. It is from plants grown in a farm in rows that are then chopped down, and then they dig up the roots, and then they sandblast, or they use walnut shells and blast this. And yeah, no, for sure. Mold is no good for your health. The mold has been treated with the mold like spray over to like keep it in place or whatever. It's like a bleach and then like a shellac. So that's good, at least. It hasn't gotten any bigger. It's that the stains from the upstairs in the ceiling is the water damage that's a problem, really. And actually, you can see it all over the house. It's not just the fish room. It's like it'll be easy to say, oh, it's the humidity in there, and I'm sure that doesn't help things. But like here, look at our ceiling here. We've got these big old cracks running through the ceiling too. We've also got, yet again, this was perfectly white not long ago, and we're seeing the same exact thing up in here. So that's all. Unfortunately, we got the roof replaced, but we're just not made of money / I haven't been well enough to get up on a ladder and carry things and do things. It's been one thing at a time. I've been trying to do other stuff or trying to, keep other tanks and other content rolling. It's just tricky that way. Yeah, it stems from a water problem for sure. Yeah, we knew that it was the roof leaking. Whoever built this house put half of our roof is a flat roof, which is like, why would you do that in Seattle? That's just stupendously stupid. So yeah. Other than that, what else was I gonna let y'all know? Oh, there are some kind of cool new items on the Fishtory shop if you're interested. It should just be linked on your YouTube app right below. Your ceiling leaks whenever it pours. Yeah, rough. Yeah, it can be the roof or the heat between the roof and the ceiling. Yeah, it can be, but it was definitely the roof. Like when we had paid the money, got the roof fixed, ta-da, it stopped. It was dripping water. I mean, it was bad. And it was in 4 different spots in the house that water was dripping. And they're kind of all 4 corners of the house, unfortunately. But it did stop them. It's just it took some money. The first person to come out and help was actually a fellow YouTube viewer, which was very nice. But unfortunately, he did his best, but he was saying that like it was a real structural thing and that the roof would need to be regraded and actually build a pitch on it, because it's doing this again where there's wine sacking. So this is the only spot where we still have water coming through is in the master bedroom, which our master bedroom has no bathroom and it's 10 feet by 10 feet. So that's our master bedroom. But yeah, it's a tiny little house, but we love it. And oh, you coming back through with cat food? And hello, welcome home, my dear.
Thanks, dear.
So then, other than that, though, I had these pie-in-the-sky dreams when we first moved in. The fact that the bathroom's right here, and the fish room is that room, and other than the closet that they share right here, they actually have a void that is the closet in the fish room. And so, how cool would it be to have water in the fish room, like able to drain or fill from the fish room through that wall. But I need a friend who's like a plumber that would be able to help me with that to understand the limitations and or the possibilities of that. Hey guys, it's my wife. She says hello.
Hello.
Hi everybody, and hi wife. How are you doing?
Angry.
You're angry. Beat it. Beat it. Everyone wants to beat it. Beat it. Beat it. Beat it. So guys, I wanted this to work so bad. My Fishtory F in a jar. I'm glad I didn't start building on it because, it was already moldy and full of algae and all this other stuff. But now it's furry. Now it's a chia pet. So I gotta toss this outside. Good thing it's got a rubber gasket, so I'm not just like growing mold and mushrooms in the house. Just ruthlessly. Well, I might be, yeah. We'll see. It is yet to be shown what I will or will not do. But I wanted to know how many of the viewers actually know what this is. Like spiderwood, where's it from? It just says usually Chinese or Javanese or Indonesian or Vietnamese or Sri Lankan or Indian. They just make it up. And they say driftwood or spiderwood. And if you look at it carefully, you can tell that there's some of it that has dirt clearly on it, and some of it gets cut up real straight like, and some of it still has bark on it and wood that has not been blasted off. So that tells you something, like in this spot right here too. You can see right in here that there's wood, there's bark still. So somebody was trying to take the bark off of these places and didn't fully do it, and then they burnt a spot there with friction. It's a friction burn of some sort. But in any case, so I want to do a video on spiderwood, how to use it, what happens, why it molds up, and also the thing most people, yes, Aquascapes, you got it. While a lot of people don't know that it is a root and not a tree, but also what are the implications for that if you're just buying it wholesale, if they're just literally slapping that on it, and sometimes they don't even pressure wash it or don't even soak it or boil it or anything. And so what's up with that, you know, what to expect, that kind of thing. I'm going to do a video on that. I think that's the next video. Also, Johnny Best, thank you so much, buddy, for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it very, very much, buddy. There's no such thing as a small super chat. Somebody said that the other day. They're like, sorry, it's only $5. I was like, are you kidding me? That it means the world, in that it adds up. The fact that, you know, our membership is $1.99 and so many of y'all want to be a part of that. And it would be 99 cents if I could have it be that, but I can't, unfortunately. And same with the Discord. $2.99 was the lowest I could set it. And if you buy it through the Apple Store, it's going to charge you another 30% a month. So don't do it through the Apple Store if you can help it. I've not tried to spawn orange throat darters. A guy named Philip, what's his name? Philip Farrell is in the North American Fish Club and has done some of the darters, I know. Morwina, thank you so much for the gifted membership. That means a lot as well. Thank you. Now somebody else gets to benefit from your kindness. That's really cool. And they can go to the community tab now, and there's access to a whole new world of stuff. I appreciate it. Aussie, Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Andrew Fishman, what's up? Good to see you. My name's Jeff. So what else did I have to tell you guys? You filthy animals. Well, prices are going up. I'm not going to dwell on this. I'm not going to say it's anybody's fault, but prices are going up internationally, wholesale. Freight prices are going up. I've heard this from 3 fish store owning friends that you probably have heard of their companies. It's, I guess, uncertainty, I suppose. But yeah, it's a little worrying, but at the same time, it's a good time to order the things. If there's any, like, I don't know, egg tumblers or vinyl or PVC parts or little silicone doodads or, you know, whatever it may be, lids for the aquarium if you're not going to DIY it and you're going to buy them. Those are all things that I'd look into at least now, and there's some pretty good deals going on that have been going on at PetSmart, Petco, all those places. I got this brand new Fluvault 207, normally $199 at PetSmart in Seattle, and it was marked down to $149. Then there was another little sale price that was running for the month, the whole month, anyways, that took it down to 101. So it took it down to 129, and then I filled out a little card that gave me another $20 off. So all in all, with all the Petco Rewards Pal Plus, then with the sale they had, then with Fluvault's 40% off manufacturer rebate, ended up being only $80. So that was a killer deal. Even though I don't spend a lot of money on things, you know, like I tend to make filters, I tend to make lids, stuff like that. That is one that I was happy to spend my money, especially on a company in, you know, with the European roots, with the Italian roots, and the French and Italian and German parts are a large part of it. I know they still make a lot of stuff in China and, you know, all, like of the pieces, but at the end of the day, it's still assembled over in Europe. And if you can't get American, well, I guess you can at least attempt, hope, try, maybe to get, you know, European. um, let's see here. So I was gonna show you guys. So we would go to T. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the Wi-Fi can't find you. Holding hands while my Wi-Fi signal's down. I'll be there, I'll be right beside you. I don't know, it's not loading. I wish I had. If I had $1 million. Why is this not loading? I was trying to get this load to show you guys something else. Kitty cat, what are you doing, you crazy old little scamp, you? Let's see if I can get it to come up this way. Nope. Okay, apparently not. Fishcapades, how's it going? Good to see you. And Woof Meow Whack, or Moof Meow Quack, how's it going? I hope you're doing well. Good to see me live, dude. Well, I'm glad I'm alive. I'm alive. Burn, burn, burn. I'm alive. Burn, burn, burn. I'm alive. Oh. Seriously, why is my internet never working, guys? I just have more problems with Schmomschmast as my provider. Like, everyone gets home and the connectivity just drops off the face of the planet. Then I have to use my Wi-Fi or my what do you call it? Mobile roaming, whatever, just to stream to you guys, which then I run out of at a certain point, or they throttle it, and it's just frustrating. Come on, Comcast. Alex Grant, TGOE, talked about you yesterday. Have I contact him? Oh, Johnny, what did he say? Was he in a good mood, or was he mad? Did I cause a boo boo? Did I do a goo goo good thing? Or something in between. Donnie Wolf, what's going on? Good to see you catching the stream. That seems like a very amorphic thing to do. Yo, guys, I caught the stream. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting internet on there. Let me see if I can steal my wife's phone. Wife's phone. Do you have your work phone? Um, I just want to show my. Oh, holy cow! You have a lot of notifications.
Right here.
Okay, hold on, guys. One sec. Okay, so history. All right. All right, giggity giggity goo, guys. We got this growing. We got this rolling. So under all of your, under me, hi guys, right below on the phone, you can like things by double tapping that screen. Apparently, a lot of people have not liked what I'm up to today or ever. We just failing on likes, guys. We got 82 people watching and 58 likes. It's pitiful, pitiful. But the fishery shop has been updated. For one, it doesn't say the secret history living in your aquarium anymore. Now, as you should know, prices have gone up somewhat. Partially, this is because I set my prices 4 years ago, and I got a real angry letter from from the company saying that basically they weren't making any money off of my account. That I had set things at a point that has now gone up since they priced it. Because basically I said, if I can make 10% profit on everything, so if it costs $10 to make, I'm going to charge 11, right? And so that's what I did. But apparently that wasn't enough for them. And then over time, the same shirt that used to be $10 to make is now $13 to make. And I was still charging 11 in theory, but then when people clicked on it, it was saying you got to pay 13. Like that's the cost of the item now, and he's discounting it too much. But so I adjusted prices a little bit. And now we've got new items. We've got fishery items, and this is just the start. I will add more of them, and we'll work out any kinks or other issues going on. But for instance, this one is kind of the new one, which is I am a baddest fish keeper. I'm a baddest fish keeper. It just says baddest fish keeper, and then it says fishery, and this is a zip up. It's $40.99. That's it. And right now I've got a code for you, which is Alex loves you. All lowercase, all no spaces or anything. It's ALEXLOVES and then the letter U with no spaces. Alex loves letter U. So you can get 15% off with that, and you can pick your size. Actually, I don't know. Let's see, what does it do here? Yeah, even if you ordered a 3XL versus a small, it's going to be that same $40.99. It comes in all the colors they let me. I used whatever colors they would let me. And if you don't see something that you want there, but you've seen the design elsewhere in my site, let me know. Like this Corridoras hoodie. So this one has gone up now to $45. and it is a zip up, but it's the heavier made unisex hoodie. And on the front, there's a little picture of a mechanical Corydorus. And on the back, wait, why did that? Oh, okay. And on the back, and here's the little mechanical Corydorus. He's got gears as his insides. And then on the back, there is a more realistic outline of a Corydorus with my little signature. But there's nothing overwhelmingly branded about most of my stuff. But like, for instance, that hoodie, I could only do in red or black. And the red kind of looks like off red to orangey pink. But there's that. And then the other thing I wanted to tell you is the mug. I made a mug with the same thing that says Baddest Fish Keeper. I just like that. Thought it was cute. And then it's just got a little fishery icon on the other side if you want to drink from a mug. Now, like I said, everything from my store, even though it's only 10% profit usually, 10% markup, this time now I've updated it to mostly their suggested price, and that means that it's more of a 15 to 25% markup. But right now with that sale, I'm offering you guys 15% off the sale, off the price if you use that code over the next week. So, and it's been a long time in the making to do all of this. You know, there's other stuff too. There's stickers, like bumper stickers that say, my other car is my fish room. And then there is, you know, and I'm open to any little ideas you guys have. If you guys have an idea for merch, because all of the proceeds, all of the money that I make off of this stuff, this is what goes to the Green Earth Alliance. This is what goes to any nonprofit stuff I'm doing for the channel, basically. And then the super chats, the memberships, all that kind of stuff is where I get the money for me to pay myself for the hours of work, so to speak. But this one says, my aquarium could drown your honor student. I don't know if you guys remember those old school bumpers about honor students and stuff. And then, you know, I've also got a towel that says Fishery. We've got that in a couple colors, yellow, pink, teal, peach, tan. And then there's more of the Fishery big old hoodie, zip up and pull over, pocket, no pocket. Some that just say Fishery, some that have art on them, some that don't. But if there's art you like, let me know and I can toss it on there. Also, we've got the Fishery water bottle with a real simple design. And then again, Baddest Fish Keeper. And what else? I left them up there for old time's sake. They're going to be up here for a couple more weeks, just the end of this year. But it's the old Secret History Living in Your Aquarium stuff from when the channel started. So if you guys still want in on that, you know, like a pint glass is 21 bucks. That feels kind of steep to me. Let's see, what do I make on that? Okay, I make $4 profit on that. Wow, they're getting a terrible deal on their pint glasses. They must break a lot of them or something. Then also, if you scan all the way down, you know, there's Corydoras, there's shrimp and wind-up shrimp. So you can get a shirt in whatever color with a wind-up shrimp. You can get a shirt that is a more realistic like shrimp outline of a pregnant female. And then on the back, you know, the front or the back, they've got the steam powered or the kind of steampunky look. So I've done that. I'm going to add, I think, angelfish and maybe a couple other organisms on there. But other than that, we've got the Cory, we've got a celestial pearl danio, we've got a zebra danio, we've got the Rasboras. We've got the betta, wind up betta mug, and then on the other side it has the realistic betta in black. And you can get that in various colors, but here's like an error is they have you do that, but then if you select white, be sure to check because white shows up as nothing, yet it won't let me delete it. It's like a set form on the website. So there's a couple quirks I need to work out that I've been trying to work out, and it's just been a bit of a pain. But then also masks, and when they have them back in stock, hoodies, beanies. If you guys have anybody in your family that's a big old fish nerd, a fishery nerd, this is a good way to support a nonprofit and support the channel and your friend, family, whatever, who happens to watch. Although if you're watching this right now, you're probably the person who wants to buy it. So just go in and flag the one you want and say you want your family to buy it for you. Like this one, the pullover unisex hoodie. We've got the the gears on the Oranda little lion's head goldfish, and then on the back it's more of a straightforward goldfish. So I've got quite a bit of stuff up there now, but I plan to add even more. I'd like to have more stuff that has nothing to do with the brand or anything of fishery or secret history, whatever. More just like stuff to make us smile, stuff that only fish keepers would get, you know? Um, like, do you even uh, know so there's oh man, my brain is totally having a lapse of thinking, but there is the anox or there's the nitrogen cycle that we all know and love, and that is one way, and we call that the I think additive. And then if it's going the other way in anoxic uh, conditions, it's called the disassembling or disassemblage. I'm probably screwing up what they're called, but I kind of wanted to do a shirt that was like, do you even know if your tank can disassemble nitrogen or ammonia? Something like that, something goofy like that. So yeah. Hey Mick, oh, I'm glad you liked the little phone case. Yeah, that was another one that I can make in different styles and stuff if they're not already up there. I am a little limited on color and like time of year and shipping. And if you're in Europe or Asia or India or wherever, you can order these things too. So they are totally at your fingertips, no matter where you are in the world, which is really cool. And that's why ultimately I've stuck with them despite a few other, little hiccups in their operating systems and so forth. All right, guys, do we have any big questions? Thigh tattoos are my kryptonite. I have thigh tattoos. Definitely have thigh tattoos. Because that's where you can reach when you're learning to tattoo as a tattoo artist. You can reach your thighs and nobody will ever know what's on there. Okay, well that ruins it for me. I actually have a big old fish tattooed on my thigh from 22 years ago or 21 years ago when I was a teenager. Come on, guys. We have any questions? Oh, and Ed, or Skipper rather, pardon me. Skipper used one of my Corydoras. That's the Corydoras trilineatus, the steampunk version. He used that for his whole shop sticker and label, which I approve, but it's also on my shirts. So, yeah, the more you know. Thanks, Nick. Sorry, guys, I'm just starving. I need a cookie. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Heroin Mansion. I appreciate it. I was trying to say that with my mouth full. Mmm. Mmm. I think it's Alex loves you, by the way. Instead of Alex loves us, I think it's Alexander loves you. But close, Aaron, and thank you. I'm gonna step outside for a moment as it's hot in the house. It was hot in the fish room, and I saw a question, an actual fishy question. Let's answer this actual fishy question. Um, where did it go? Tangerine tiger shrimp, okay, in dirted nature tank? Sure, as long as your ammonia is low and there's no copper in the dirt. Yeah, totally. Or ammonia is zero, rather, not just low. Um, let's see here. I can use water clarifier in the tank. Oh, can I use water clarifier in a tank that has bamboo shrimp, or will it make it harder for them to find food? You know, that's an interesting question. I would say probably not. It probably bonds mostly to inert stuff and not so much living microorganisms. Now, it may kind of gum up the flagella of some of the really small, like, what do you call it? Free swimming single cell organisms. There's a chance of that, but for the most part, it's basically it takes little tiny dissolved pieces of, for instance, let's just think of them as beach balls, like inflatable beach balls. It takes those, if you think of the molecule looking like that, and it basically wraps them in the one of those the aprons you wear at the dentist that stops the radiation from getting to you. Basically takes two or three of those aprons and just throws them over the beach ball. And that's how those clarifiers work, is they just basically gum up the small, very tiny um, inanimate objects. Sometimes it bonds with certain things. Other times it's just a matter of it bonds with everything and it just causes everything to fall out of the water, because once it's globbed onto that, it now has a lot more density and it will sink to the bottom. But I think a lot of those little living things kind of escape it to some degree. Otherwise, we'd probably wreck our cycles and filters and things like that much easier, and I don't think that's the case. But it is something to ask a microbiologist about officially, but that's my guess. And my assumption based on what I've seen is I've not seen that to be like a problem. Now, if you have a really elaborate myco ecosystem where you've got scuds and you've got seed shrimp and you've got triliniatis and you've got planaria and hydra and all these things that you're trying to balance in unity to make up a happy little smorgasbord for your fish and cleaners for your tank. Well, that's when you might want to be a little more discerning and not use like clarifiers and stuff, because there may be one or two that have some aspect of what's hard on them about that. Maybe it limits their food even, perhaps. I don't know. Alex, I've been lazy to test my water when my shrimp keep dying. Well, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you about that. That's a you problem. I mean, I feel you. I've been similar situations, but I usually just test the water out of OCD. But you gotta test your water, bruh. Gotta test your water. Some people are taking it too far, man. They're taking it too far with their natural aquariums. It's natural, but we gotta like check nature. That's why we have like park rangers. That's why we have like biologists, ecologists, geologists, hydrologists, limnologists. dendrologists, dendrochronologists, they check all that stuff. Hey Alex, what do you get your malo? What do you do to get your malo shrimp to breed? Nada, nothing. Just put them together. um, if they're not for you, I mean, they seem to be most happy with somewhere between a 6.5 and a 7.5 pH, KH around maybe 4 to 8, and GH like 4 to, I don't know, 12. So they're pretty hardy. They're kind of like neocaradinas in that sense, but they can get shocked easily. They can get just stress shocked. They can get shocked by the actual the journey, the temperature change when you open the bag, the swing in ammonia, causing a more toxic effect of your bag because of the pH shift. All these things could have a role. But yeah, I mean, pretty much they're even more hardy than the neocaradinas are, from my experience and the experience of other people from the club. Also, Hans George Evers, who out of Germany or Austria, Germany, he basically was mad when I showed him that I made blue ones. He was like, "Why? Why would you make more of these things? They take over aquariums and they totally become, you know, overpowering all your little systems in your aquarium." So that was something that I found interesting, that he thought of them as like this unstoppable little fish that any parameter would do for. Um, but or not little fish, little shrimp. Whoa, I thought that had a way of filter feed. Sorry, I took too long. Figured out, must be 3 dot thingy. Oh yeah, yeah. It's hard to find if you've never done it before. It is hard to figure out how do you like a stream that is set up in the profile orientation. It is annoying. I apologize. All right, you guys. Gift codes. You know, I totally spaced and didn't read my Gmail. I'm gonna do that right when I get off here, which is gonna be any second here. I'm just looking after this next set of questions here. Aaron says, I always want extra aquatic moss around for different tanks or jars or whatever, so it seems really reasonable to keep batches of half dozen types of propagating on my plants or on my plant shelves, right? Oh, totally. Yeah. Moss is a funny thing in that it can do okay without any movement or with very minimal, what do we want to call it? Horticultural interference or care. But it's also kind of finicky at the same time, ironically. And so it wants certain things like a change in temperature between night and day. Also, the change in like how much CO2 is in the water at night versus in the day, versus how much it's breathing, versus what else is, oh, if the plant's immersed, like if the moss is coming out. There's a lot of variables, and also flow is another big one. It's gonna want to have a lot of flow, generally speaking, mosses. Should I definitely just order all the moss? Yeah, hoarding moss, reasonable, yeah. Yeah, get Christmas moss, octopus moss, if you see that one, which sometimes has other names, but I think like flame moss, Christmas moss, and then there's also the elusive, what do they call it? Box moss, or like I think they right angle moss. I can't remember what they call it. But it turns right angles, and then yet it does not live more than like a few months in anybody's care, which is interesting because I don't know. Yeah, there's a story to be had there that I'll have to track down because I don't remember the details. But yeah, uh, how to refer? Okay, Alex, is it okay to use Fluval stratum for Neo shrimp? My tap water is just like yours. Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. If you want to use Fluval stratum, that's a great one. Brightwill soils or aqua soils are a great one. And then even once you get going, say 3 or 4 months in, you may want to consider putting in a root tab or two, just like spaced about yay apart from one another and then staggered, so that if you have a whole cluster of plants, that they'll grow a little bit better, especially if you don't have a super rich substrate like soil or aqua soil that will have those goodies they want. Um, let's see here. Uh, Difficulty naming a water center water hyacinth. I've heard it's good at removing waste from water, but uh doesn't produce a lot of oxygen, does it? I don't know off the top of my head, but I will try to find out and let you know. Uh, Thank you, Duhat. I appreciate it. 5 clumps of ginger, not ginger, Java moss and Christmas moss. Nice. That's gonna be quite the stash. Yeah, what I like to do with moss if I'm trying to grow it quickly is I'll put it in highlight, I'll blast it with CO2 like to the max that the fish can handle. Then I will have a one of those power heads if I can find one that kind of goes back and forth side to side that really switches up the current, and I set it to like 400 gallons an hour on like a 40 breeder, and then from there, do the normal thing. But that stuff really, in my opinion, does help. Let's see here. Alex caught the tail end of the live stream, man. Hope you are well and your channel is amazing. Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate all of y'all for being here, for coming out, for supporting the channel, for supporting me. For letting me be crazy. What do I think about hornwort? I don't think about hornwort. No, I love hornwort. I think it's cool. It dies in really hard water, which is a bummer. Um, but it's a weed. I thought you could see my breath out here. It's pretty much a weed. I think I would go more for like what do they call creeping Jenny or creeping Charlie or something like that. Um, but I don't know. I need multiple people to point to when the moss appears in the mall. Right on. Let's see here. Alex, you can break. You wait. Can you breed and sell super blonde guppies to stop the gatekeeping and price gouging? No. No, I just am not interested in breeding a whole bunch of those right now because they're gonna take up a whole like 29 gallon, and then it's got to be hard water, and then it's like, okay, what else do I put in here? Synodontis maybe, something like that, like anchor catfish. Like there's not that many options of like a big multi-ecosystem setup until you get way bigger, like in the 120 gallons, and I can't do that in my current place. But you know, it's all good. Well, guys, I think I'm gonna get out of here. I think if you have more questions, ask them in the Discord. Ask them. Hopefully Friday. I'll be up to it. I have been in and out of doctor's appointments again. Today there was another one. I'm just kind of having a hard time with like energy, mind fog, and focus, and then also just pain. So, You guys are my therapy session, though. Don't forget it. You guys mean the world to me, and I always have fun chatting with you, getting your opinions, your thoughts, your world views, and kind of overlaying that or contrasting that to the things that I assume or the things I think, and, questioning some of them at times even. Uh, it's very appreciated. So I hope y'all are doing very well, and I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. Uh, Take care everywhere, Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear. And let's get out of here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, have a great evening. I will be on the float in the Turkey Day Parade. It is very expired turkey. It's leftover turkey. It's not the one sponsored by Butterball. It's actually uh, it's sponsored by a group called Cannonball, and don't worry about it. It's pretty much the same. All right, guys. Much love. Take care of yourselves, your fish, your family, and all of that together. Your world, your life, your own mental sanity. Make sure to put it all together and take care of it. Otherwise, no one else is gonna, and it will make life better. I promise. So that's about the size of it. All right, you guys, have a lovely evening. And I think I'm probably gonna have to lay down for a nap now that my Benadryl is kicked in and Grandpa Alex needs to go to bed. All right, much love, you guys. Bye. Old